they've taken it. And that's just it. What would our founder's father say? And Montague said it. I believe it was him. He said, it'll work until the politicians figure out that they can buy the votes. They can bribe the people with their own money. Well, that's what we have. So the Democrats, they look towards the poor people and say, we're going to bribe you. The Republicans look towards corporate America, who have the money, and say, we're going to bribe you.
Right. How come the Republicans don't focus a little attention on
Democrats got the corner more. They're caught in the market.
You know, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that.
No, I'm not saying you know, pandering to the poor people or bribing the poor people.
Well, I wouldn't say that the Republican Party, they don't pander to the poor. All right, at least the Republicans that I know.
Right, they don't. They don't. Okay. Not that I know.
The Democrats pander to the poor. You know, the minorities and such. As a matter of fact, there's a book, you know, written by a gentleman, an African American minister in California. Wayne Perriman. Yeah. You know, Unfounded Loyalty. You know, where he has done in-depth research on both parties, particularly the Republican Party, how it was started and such, and it showed, you know, the title of the book, Unfounded Loyalty. How is it that African Americans vote predominantly for the Democratic Party, and when you look at principle-wise, okay, it is an unfounded loyalty to the Democratic Party, primarily because the Democrats have, as I said before, you know, it's an image game, okay? They've built an image around rhetoric, around sensationalism, that you know, that sensationalize the issues, okay, and garner the loyalty of minorities. Why? Because minorities, for the most part, are the ones that suffer economically and socially and so forth. Yeah. So you appeal to their emotions and you will garner their loyalty, you know, regardless of the fact that principle-wise, they're like night and days. Okay, yeah. There's no saying that African Americans are the most religious, you know, cultural group in America, but yet still, when you look at the principal platform of the Democratic Party, and you look at the principal African Americans who are so religious, they're not compatible. No. Okay,
so why? Because when you look at Martin Luther King, he was a Republican.
Martin Luther King.
I mean, that's you know, that should tell you right there.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't even think people really get it. Martin Luther King in his "I Have a Dream," okay, speech. Okay, the thing that he said was that his dream, part of his dream was that you know, he dreams of a nation where every individual shall be judged by the content of their character. All right. Yet still, to this day, okay, we are, you know, especially in the African American community, and this is where I think the African American community are more accountable, okay, because here our leader, such as Martin Luther King, okay, you know, gave a speech and and declared his dream of a nation where people are judged by the content of their character, all right, rather than the color of their skin. Yet still, to this day in the African American community, we elect leaders based upon the color of their skin, all right, whether they are black. That's one of the reasons why President Barack Obama to this day is so popular, all right, in spite of the fact that his policies are failing us.
But why do you think minorities are more attracted or align themselves more with the Democratic Party than the Republican Party?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to hold that question and bring it back next week. We've got to the top of our hour, and it's amazing how time flies.
Wow, time flies.
Yeah, it goes by fast. But we had a great conversation.